beef stew was so easy to make. So in a skillet here, I just have a few tablespoons of oil. Any kind of oil will do. Usually, you can change my recipes. So any kind of oil will do, a few tablespoons, and I just got a pack of stew meat, but you can use any kind of beef cut up that you like. I just brown that in a pan with some garlic, some onion powder, and some salt and pepper. Pretty easy seasonings. Beef stew, I don't like to really go over the top. I don't use any kind of green seasonings or anything like that. And this is a perfect dinner for a cold night. It definitely warms you up. You do have to start this a few hours ahead of time, even the night before if you want to brown the meat up, because this is going to cook for about 6 to 10 hours, depending on how you have it, low or high in your crock pot. So just brown that beef up, and that's what it's going to look like. The bottom is going to be colorful. All those bits, though, that's not burnt. That you want to keep that, and that's going to create a really nice taste overall for your stew. So you just want to add some red wine to deglaze that pan. And I added some soy sauce because I didn't have any of the W sauce, but I would usually add that. And then a little bit of any kind of hot sauce that you like. And there it is. The sauce is just getting a little bit thick. And while that's sitting there on the stove, we're just going to peel up a few potatoes. I just peeled 2 potatoes, and that seemed to be enough for that amount. This made a lot of stew, some good leftovers. Or you can also freeze this. It freezes really well. You can freeze it in individual portions, or you can freeze it in, one larger container to take it out for a family dinner. So now I'm just going to chop my potatoes up. I chop them up in, I wouldn't say tiny bite-sized pieces, but they were definitely smaller pieces. I don't like the whole small potatoes in my stew. I like to be able to, you know, get a little bit of everything on one bite on the spoon. So here I am just chopping the potatoes up into pretty bite-sized pieces. And then we're going to move on to our carrots. So these carrots have seen better days. They were in my refrigerator at the bottom. Totally forgot about them. So yeah, they're perfectly fine though. We're just going to peel the skins off of our carrots, and they'll be fine to cut up and stick into our stew. They're a little bit soft, but yeah, they're gonna get soft in the stew anyway. So we're just gonna peel up a few carrots. I don't really know how many I did, maybe 5 or 6, but we really like carrots. You can pretty much put anything into the stew that you like, any kind of vegetables. Um, so that's what I did. So I'm just gonna finish peeling up these carrots now. Now that I have the carrots all peeled up, I'm just gonna chop them up and get them also into bite-sized pieces. So now I'm just gonna chop up some celery. The celery was also something that I had in my refrigerator. Do you ever do that? Do you ever have a lot of ingredients for one meal, and you just see them in there and you're like, oh, I can make this? I think that's going to be a video that I'm going to make, like a pantry fridge, freezer, whatever clean out, because this could technically be part of that. So once I have the celery cut up, I'm just going to take my beef, and don't worry, I scraped that pan all into a crock pot. I just got some water into the pan, and I got that all cleaned out, and I put it into the crock pot. And then I'm going to use just one container. You can use any kind of broth that you want, or you can use cubes with water. That's fine too. So I just put that whole container of broth in there, then my 2 potatoes, then my 5 carrots, and my 2 stalks of celery. And then I just made a little cornstarch slurry to thicken it up. And I did end up having to put some more cornstarch in there. I didn't show that, but I did add some more cornstarch. You definitely want to make it a slurry in a bowl so it doesn't chunk up. So then I just went ahead and dumped that in there too. And I put my crock pot on low. You either can put it on low for 8 to 10 hours, or I'm sorry, low for 8 to 10 hours, or high for 6 hours. Then I'm just going to, before I let it cook, I'm going to add some more garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper to season it up. And you want to be really careful with the amount of salt you add, because you already did add some salt, and depending on what kind of stock you use, it could be kind of salty, so be careful. And after it was done, this is the final product. This is what it looks like. It was so yummy. Served it with some garlic bread, and that was dinner. If you like this video and you like this recipe and you're going to make this, please give me a like and consider subscribing to the channel. You can hit that post notification bell so you never miss any videos. Thanks.